Look, I came here to do two things: chew bubblegum and talk hair metal. And it looks like I'm almost out of bubblegum. Welcome to the Hair Metal Guru. My name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. And today, hey, kind of a special episode because I'm going to show some more shit that I've been framing. And Charlie wants to be on TV. So, she was begging me to get her back on YouTube because she wants to be very popular on YouTube. Yeah, because everybody likes you so much. So Charlie and we've been framing the shit out of a lot of stuff, and so I have so much to show. I think I'm going to show 22 things today, 22 album flats. If you remember back in the old days when we went to record stores, oh fuck, I miss those places. But they would have 12 by 12 album flats. It was like a replica copy of a vinyl album cover, and it was the same size, and they would put them up as decorations. I don't know that they sold them, but they would put them up and as advertisements to say, hey, here, check out the new album. So I framed a bunch of them. I've gotten them from various places, some of them on YouTube, some from other places. So I have, I think, 22 of them, and I'm going to show you guys. And it was a good excuse to show you my new fucking Lillian Axe shirt, Love and War, that I got off eBay. So I've been looking for a shirt like that forever. Finally got one. So no, it's not original, but it does kick ass. All right, let's get into it. Charlie is sitting here panting like a bitch. And I mean that as a compliment because that's what she is. She is a female dog. She doesn't get offended by that, okay? All right, so number one, and these should mostly be hair metal related. But have you ever heard of the band Tattoo Rodeo? They were really, they were coming out towards the tail end of the hair metal movement. I think they're from LA. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But really kind of acoustic and bluesy, but some really solid shit. Now I'm trying to think of some song titles. Maybe I'll put them in because I didn't exactly write down a bunch of shit. I don't have any notes for this. I'm just going off the top of my head. But they did have at least one video, and it was like fucking Tell Me Why or something. Anyway, kick-ass band. Disappeared after this. They did put out an EP called Skin after this is the debut called Rode Hard, Put Away Wet. So Tattoo Rodeo, very cool album. Let's move on. Coming up next is one from Dangerous Toys, Hellacious Acres. So, I'll be honest, Charlie, you're driving me fucking nuts. I'm just kidding. You're very pretty. And I think this is their second album. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. And you might be like, you're the fucking hair metal guru and you don't know if Hellacious Acres is the second. I know it's not their first album, but I was never a huge Dangerous Toys fan, and people might be surprised to hear that, but I liked sex songs, but Sportin' a Woody, I didn't really like. I thought Scared was a good song off the debut. So I didn't venture very far past the first album. Maybe I should. I do like Jason McMaster's voice. So, but anyway, Hellacious Acres from Dangerous Toys. Yes, Charlie. Stay right there. Number 3. The Winger debut album. And so I really like Winger. I don't know that I ever loved Winger. For some reason, bands that got credit as being like super musicians always they kind of left me hanging a little bit. Like I like Mr. Big. I don't love Mr. Big. Winger kind of fits into that. Bands that were known for their, I always liked the simple shit. Simple 3-chord AC/DC-esque stuff. But I do really like Winger. I really liked the second album. Can't Get Enough. Miles Away was a phenomenal ballad. But this had a lot of hits. I think it went platinum. 17, Hungry, Madeline. So, very cool Winger. Charlie, you're being very naughty. What is this, number 4? I'm gonna quit numbering them. Okay, if you have never heard of this Stage Dolls album, I think it's 89, I'm pretty sure, 89 or 90. I think their first single was a song called Still in Love. And I heard that on the radio in Fargo, and I was like, what the fuck? It is so catchy. Now, they actually did have a single that made the top 40. I think it hit number 40, called Love Cries. So if you've heard of Stage Dolls, you probably know the song Love Cries. This is really pop rock, very AOR-ish. I would almost compare it to like fucking Bryan Adams' Reckless album. So, but I love Bryan Adams and the Reckless album, and I love this Stage Dolls album, so check it out if you have not heard of it yet. This shirt really is cool though, right? Okay. Next, from the 1990 self-titled debut of the Company of Wolves, first single, Call of the Wild. Holy shit. Now I'm going to forget the fucking names. I know the singer was in a band that had a song on the Fast Times at Ridgemont High soundtrack. And one of the guys, shit, $20 is I'll think of his name when I get done with this, has been in the New York Dolls. He's toured with Conte, Steve Conte. Has been in Michael Monroe's band from Hanoi Rocks. Opening single, Call of the Wild. Check out the song Jilted. They had a kind of ballad called Everybody's Baby that was really good. Lot of great shit on this album, Company of Wolves. Time to represent Canada with Killer Dwarfs. And this is from the Big Deal album. I really liked 1992's Method to the Madness. I think I have something framed from that maybe coming up. Just really, you know, they never, maybe they sold, like, had a couple albums that sold like 100,000 copies. I don't know if they were really big in Canada. I hope they were, but I saw them once in the 2000s at a club in Fargo, North Dakota. I'm ashamed to say there was like 25 or 30 people there, but they were phenomenal. So really cool band from Canada, Killer Dwarfs. Coming up next, Brittany Fox. Man, I did a whole video on these guys where I ranked their first 3 albums. I think I called it Brittany Fox, a hair metal casualty. If I remember, I'll try to put it in the comments. But they put out their self-titled debut in 1988, an album called Boys in Heat in 1989. Stupid fucking album title, stupid fucking album cover, great fucking album. And then their singer, Dean Davidson, left, and they got a guy named Tommy Paris for an album in 1991 called Bite Down Hard, which is phenomenal. This album is phenomenal. It's mainly known for the song Girl School, maybe Long Way to Love. So many other great tracks on it. Fucking Rock Revolution, I think one's called. A Slade cover called Goodbye to Jane. Anyway, this band deserves so much better. So, great album. Coming up next, if you remember the Trick or Treat movie, and I think Gene Simmons was in it. I think Ozzy Osbourne had a part in it. I haven't seen it for fucking ever. But Fastway did the soundtrack. And it should say that somewhere on here. Yes. Hold that fucking thing right side up. So from 1986, album flat for the Trick or Treat movie. Pretty cool. From 1987, Judas Priest, Ram It Down. I really liked the pop metal. I mean, it's not maybe pop, but you know, like, You Got Another Thing Coming, Love Bites, shit like that, Heading Out to the Highway, Living After Midnight. I loved that shit. I think this album kind of represented that style really well. I wasn't as much into the really heavy shit like on Painkiller. I know a lot of people love that, but one thing about this album, I love the cover of Johnny Be Good. It's one of my favorite Judas Priest songs. I have no clue why it gets as much shit as it does. They took that song, completely made it their own. It's heavy. It's catchy as shit. I still listen to it regularly, so ram it down. From 1987, sadly, the Ozzy Osbourne Randy Rhoads tribute. I'm an Ozzy fan. I love the album No More Tears. I really like Blizzard of Oz. I don't know if I got into the middle albums as much. You know, his first solo album and No More Tears were my favorites. So, but obviously Randy Rhoads, fucking guitar legend, and sadly died when a small airplane hit their tour bus when people were drunk and high and fucking around. So, Ozzy Randy Rhoads tribute. Next, from the Whitesnake 1987 album that sold like 8 bazillion fucking copies, Still of the Night, Here I Go Again. Whenever I think of this album, I get a little sad though, because I think of how they recorded this album and then he kicked everybody out of the band, including John Sykes, who went on to do the phenomenal Blue Murder album, which unfortunately didn't do nearly as well as it should have. But this, no doubt, is a monster album. I think 8 times platinum. The follow-up only went platinum. David Coverdale, Sometimes Karma's a Bitch, man. 1989, the Skid Row debut. I worshipped this album. I still love this album. But when I was 16 and 17, there was not a band I identified with more than Skid Row in 1989. Jet Boy, Feel the Shake. Great band. They put out this one and another one, I think on major label deals, and then they put out other shit since. Go check out the song Feel the Shake. Check out the song Hard Climb. So freaking catchy. The next album had a great ballad called Too Late. What's his name? Sammy Yaffa from Hanoi Rocks is in this band. I think that's him right here. Mickey Finn, is it Mickey Finn? You know, had a mohawk. You didn't see that very often. And unfortunately, how you looked mattered a lot back then. I wonder if they got hurt by that. You know, if people were like, fuck, we don't do mohawks. Anyway, I think it's kind of cool. Great album, but didn't sell all that well. Bang Tango, Dancing on Coals. I'll be honest, I'm not the world's biggest Bang Tango fan. I like Bang Tango. I love the song Someone Like You. But if you follow the channel, you know I'm not a huge funk guy, you know. And so, I mean, they had a great bass player, but they got kind of funky. So I like some of their shit. I've seen them in concert many times. A really cool band. I'm just, you know, they didn't grab me like a lot of other bands did, but I really like this cover. So, Dancing on Coals, Bang Tango. Scorpions, Best of Rockers and Ballads, like a greatest hits. And I gotta say, that's one of the worst fucking album titles of all time. But I really like this cover. And I love Scorpions. I mean, shit, they're still putting out, man, Rock Believer, their newest album, is really solid. And, you know, the 80s, they were putting out hit after hit after hit. So great album, or great band, great album. If you want to collect all the best stuff in one shot, just shitty album title. Arcade, from 1993, the band that had Stephen Pearcy from Rat singing, Fred Coury from Cinderella on drums, Frankie, I think it's Wilsex from Sea Hags was in this band. And I will put this self-titled, now that album cover sucks, but I will put this album up there against the best of Rat's discography. Fucking Nothing to Lose, Cry No More, good ballads, and shit. I mean, there's got to be at least 7 or 8 songs on this album that I love. If you have never listened to this and you like Rat or 80s rock, go check this shit out. Speaking of Rat, from 1991, their best of 81 to 91, when King Crosby, rest in peace. I think they kind of knew it was the end because he was deep in the throes of addiction. Their last album, Detonator, had only gone gold after they had gone, you know, platinum or double or triple platinum for all the previous albums. So I think they knew that things were coming to an end. So great best of, great band. And, Stephen Pearcy's still out there doing it. Live, his vocals are a little shaky, but on album, I think he has one of the coolest voices of this genre. Next, Black and Blue for the album In Heat. I don't know about that album title. This is kind of a cool cover, though. I kind of like that red, almost flamey looking shit behind the band. I'm a big Black and Blue fan from their debut, Hold On to 18, Miss Mystery, the Without Love, another fucking album title that sucked, is a great album. Trying to think of song titles. Anyway, Black and Blue, Jamie St. James on vocals, and Tommy Thayer, who ended his career in Kiss on guitar. So very cool band. Now we have Dawkins back for the attack. I think this is my second favorite Dawkins album after Under Lock and Key, which came out in 85. I think this is 87. And I love the logo. Unfortunately, this was going to be the last album that really, did anything. Then I think they put out a live album, and then they broke up. George Lynch goes on to form Lynch Mob. Don Dokken does a pretty cool solo album called Up From the Ashes. And but man, they were a cool fucking band in the mid 80s. Just 3 left. Here is that other Killer Dwarfs that I mentioned from 1992 for their album Method to the Madness. Some cool ballads on here, some cool rock shit. Obviously in 1992, it didn't stand much of a chance. This is kind of a weird cover, but man, Canada, go support your boys in Killer Dwarfs, okay? And 2 more from the band whose shirt I'm wearing. This is an album flat for the Lillian Axe debut. I've spent so much time talking about this band, trying to promote their ballad Nobody Knows, which I've said should have done for them what Every Rose Has Its Thorn did for Poison. Misery Loves Company, Picture Perfect, fucking great debut album produced by Robin Crosby of Rat. And this is actually not an album. I might have shown this before at some point. But anyway, this I bought off eBay the vinyl cover of the Lillian Axe Love and War album from 1989. No album, but I spent $12 just so I could frame this, which is the same shirt that I'm wearing. I've said that this is my favorite Lillian Axe album. Go check out the songs Show a Little Love, All's Fair in Love and War, Diana, the whole thing, World Stop Turning. Oh my God, I love this band. I love this album. So, however you can get Lillian Axe, get Lillian Axe. So, with that, that's probably about 20 minutes. So, I hope you like that shit. I will be selling. I have so much. I bet over 1,000 framed items. I'm going to be selling them at the Fargo Record Fair at the Fargo Brewing Company in Fargo, North Dakota on October 26th from 11 to 4 p.m. So if you somehow end up in the area, stop by and say hi. Even if you don't buy anything, I would love to meet people that support the channel, that watch the shit that I do, along with the other guys, Brian, Ryan, and Metal Mike. So again, October 26th, it's a Saturday, the Fargo Record Fair, which is being held at the Fargo Brewing Company. So, and if you show up at that thing and you're going to be in Fargo, then you can come to the House of Hair and check out all the other shit that I have and take a look around. So with that, hopefully you saw something that you liked. Comment, and I would love it if you would subscribe. You have the opportunity to become a member. In fact, I think I'm going to release this to my members first before it goes out to the general public. So I appreciate all of you, whether you're a member or whether you just stop by from time to time and watch. I appreciate it. Until the next video comes out, my name's Anthony. They call me the Guru. Take care.